everybody who's watching right now, hello and welcome. My name is Xing Chong, and I'm one of the Film Lab social media coordinators. Film Lab is a nonprofit organization that has been working to create racial and gender parity in the entertainment industry since 1998. Unfinished Works, which is what Jake is taking part in, is a program that we provide to workshop diverse and cutting edge new scripts and writers. In just a few moments, well, right now we're joined by our writer, which is of the December workshop. His name is Jay Mehta. The workshop takes place on the 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and then 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And it's going to feature the works of Jay Mehta. And today I'm joined by Jay. Did I say your last name right? Mehta or how?
Meta, yes.
Mehta, great. Sounds good. So
Yep.
let me just
Like
give
meta
it a
guy.
little. Oh, wow, yeah. Let me just introduce you a little bit. So Jay is an Indian American who grew up in various parts of New Jersey and now lives in the greater Philadelphia area. He has a BA in creative writing from the Pennsylvania State University and a master's in secondary English education from Arcadia University. As an aspiring educator and YA novelist, he wants young people to feel empowered and inspired to read and write. So he strives to unite the two worlds of his teaching and writing together for that reason. Outside teaching and writing, he enjoys listening to music and podcasts, reading, watching books and anime, and spending quality time with family and friends. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Jay. First of all, I'm interested in your
Sure.
music. What kind of music do you listen
Well, Ching, you made me sound very good there.
to? Yeah.
Yeah. So music wise, I guess at least according to Spotify, because like they came out with the like every year they do the thing, right?
Right. On
So
rap,
like
yeah.
I do listen to a lot of pop because like I like just summertime music regardless
Uh-huh.
of what time of year it is. And then definitely rap music, like lyrical rap for sure.
Right.
Um, K-pop, K-R&B,
K-pop,
um,
wow.
filmy music, which is like any music that's in Bollywood films,
Uh-huh.
um, and some alternative rock here and there. Yeah.
That's
What about yourself?
a
What kind of
very
music are you into?
diverse genre. Me, it's just rap, and
Yeah.
also like
Okay.
all over the place though, like indie stuff, alternative stuff like that, you know?
Okay. Nice. Nice.
Um,
Nice.
yeah. Where are you from? Tell us about where you're from.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So like in my bio, right? So like I grew up in various parts of New Jersey,
Right.
and then around like I would say maybe like 8 or 9 years old, my parents and I moved to like like one of the suburbs in PA, and then we kind of like hopped around while I was young. And for the most part, I would say for like maybe the last 10 years or so, I've been living in Collegeville actually.
Okay.
So it's like for anybody who kind of doesn't know where that is specifically, like we kind of say it's like outside of Philly,
Yeah.
but it's like 40 minutes outside of Philly. So,
Uh-huh.
but that's about the closest I can describe its location.
All right.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. And what kind of writing do you do? Like
Yeah.
um like if is it sorry, but is it like film, comedy? What kind of style?
Yeah. So it's interesting because like for the most part, I would say anyone who knows me and like my journey with writing and everything knows me for book writing. And for like young adult like sci-fi fantasy specifically, I've been working on like a series of mine for the past 7 years, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But I had taken a script writing class when I was in a creative writing major back in college.
Mm-hmm.
And then recently, when I visited a friend, I had an idea for this short film script as part of the program, and I was just like, you know what? Let me just write it. Let me just try and write it and see what happens. And then I submitted it to the program, and then you guys reached back to me, and I was just like, oh shoot, okay, I guess I'll I guess I'll kind of like see where the film script side of things goes. So primarily like I do YA book stuff, but I'm interested to see what I can do with the script side of things.
Right. And that brings us to the project that you're working on with the workshop, which is Strangers.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that. Like, what's it about? What genre?
Yeah, sure. So I guess I would say it's contemporary. And I guess from a particular standpoint, it can be considered a period piece in that sense because I really had the idea of it when I visited a friend, and we were just walking up the stairs to his dorm room, and I had just thought like instantaneously, like, here's an idea. Like, literally, this is what I think I said. Here's an idea. Like, what if there's just two strangers? One sits on the top of the stairs, one sits on the bottom, and they don't know each other, but for 5 minutes they have a brief connection. Like, boom, that's the story. And then when I came back home, I just started writing it. And I think because of obviously like COVID and everything going on, I think I just then thought about, well, what would it be like for, the relationship between two strangers with some, maybe romantic undertone during COVID, right? Because I already think there's something interesting anytime we meet strangers like in person, because I think a lot of our world now, we're so used to, especially during this time, like virtual meet and greets and stuff like
Right,
that.
right,
But
uh-huh.
the physical is still like, at least even before COVID, when I would be in like a grocery line or like, anywhere to wait around and there were strangers around me, even I would find it difficult to strike up a conversation with another person. I would just be like them. I might be on my phone, or something like that. So just to kind of explore that element, I think there's a beauty and a mystery about what is the relationship between two strangers, and in this case, like during COVID.
Right. I think in this specific time, the special time we live in, it is super important. And I think it's
A special
people
time
are
indeed. Shit, yeah,
yeah,
a special
people
time indeed. Yeah.
are missing that, that intimate conversation where like one person is sitting, like you're sitting on a staircase with somebody. And you said
Right, right.
it's gonna be a short, right? So it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what I intend. I think right now I have it roughly around like 10 pages, but it's meant to just be like 5 minutes in and out dialogue, and just to see like, where it goes, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's super interesting. Yeah, I think dialogues can be a lot. There could be like a 1 minute dialogue that's interesting, and it can be like a 10 minute dialogue that's also interesting, right? So you
Yeah.
have a very diverse, what's the word? You write a lot of like you write books. You told me you write novels, and you also
Yeah.
work on screenplay.
Yeah.
Um,
Recently
what?
I've just been working on screenplay. Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
recently, so why? What turned you on to that? What made you want to write in the screenplay part?
Sure. So actually, there was a friend of mine I had a coffee with, and this was just shortly before, maybe a couple months before March of this year,
Hmm.
before COVID and everything. And he's also he's a book author himself. And towards the end, he told me, Jay, if I was you, I would think into writing scripts as well, because that seems to be where just storytelling as a whole is moving forward, like, multimedia and those kind of things, right?
Right,
And
right.
I guess like in that sense, at least I still feel very young in that sense, right? Like, I mean, I'm just out of like post graduation and stuff, so I feel like, yeah, why not? Like, let me diversify my repertoire, not just with genres that I write, but also in
Hmm.
the industry, because um, one thing I don't hear, like a sentence I don't hear, is I write books and screenplays. I
Right,
don't really hear anybody saying a sentence like that, and
right,
I
right.
I like to deconstruct things on a general basis. So I
Uh-huh.
just deconstructed that, and I'm like, well, does that have to be the case for me? Because for me, if I haven't tried something yet, I can't conclude whether or not that thing works or doesn't work. So I just
Right.
figured, like, okay, well, hey, Unfinished Works program seems to think my work is at least, like, viable enough for the program.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that gave me a little bit of a push, right? That gave me a
Hmm.
little bit of a push to be like, okay, well, let me see what I can do with the script side of things, and maybe I can be one of the people who gets to say, like, in the future, I write books and screenplays. So that's
Right.
kind of like,
Yeah.
I like to challenge myself in that way, I would say.
That's for sure. I think like I mean the two platforms are pretty translatable to each other. I guess
Oh yeah.
my next question would be, what is the first piece of writing that you did? And I'm guessing it's a novel, right? It's a book of some sort.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. How was that? Was it the first
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
you wrote something?
Um, and then yeah, and you just let me know like how we are on time and
Oh
everything.
yeah, yeah, no problem.
Um,
Yeah. Hmm.
so basically, like, I actually 7 years ago is when I really got into writing as a whole. And initially I did want to make a film out of it, but my understanding of how to make a film at that time, this was like 2013,
Hmm.
um was I needed an expensive camera, and I needed like a bunch
Right.
of people to do it. And I
Right.
didn't know a lot of people, and I didn't have the money to get an expensive camera. So I was just like, how am I going to get this story out onto the page just like as soon as possible? And then I just wrote like chapter 1, and then I just started typing that in my laptop. And then I thought about turning it into a novel. I had no idea what it took to be a novelist or an author at that time at all. I was a complete novice in the thing, but I just like I wanted it badly enough. So then I started studying the craft of how it is to write novels. I started reading a lot more and stuff like that. And eventually, when I got to college, I actually switched majors because I was pre-med. I switched majors
Oh,
to
wow.
creative writing. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I started just taking different kinds of courses, so like literature courses, creative writing courses, and I took the one script writing course as well. And I've just been ever since like I consider myself as a storyteller, like broadly, like
For
whatever
sure.
I can tap into that can be done with storytelling. Then that's accessible to me, and I should be able to just at least try it out. So that's kind
Okay.
of how that goes.
And so, like,
Anyways,
then I have a question. So then you've done writing for books for a long time. You've just stepped into the realm of film
yeah.
screenwriting. What is the difference that surprised you the most?
Yeah. So I would say like I'm on a temporary pause, I would say from writing books. I finally finished revising like a major draft, like a fourth draft for my novel, which I'm currently like querying to literary agents and that sort of thing. So that's kind of like in a different phase now. So I'm able to take a break from that creatively. It's on the business
Hmm.
side of things. So
Hmm.
with the script stuff, sorry, what was that question again?
So basically, it's like I guess I was just interested. I know you write a lot of novels probably, and you just stepping into film, right? So I just
Yeah.
wanted to know what did you find the most surprisingly different between the two realms? And they are both storytelling, but
Sure.
I'm pretty
Sure.
sure that you would be like, oh wow, like this is different. Like I've never done
Yeah.
this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so where did you find that moment, or
Yeah,
how did
yeah.
you
So,
feel?
so what's very interesting is I've gone through this myself because it's there's a lot that's similar between screenwriting and prose writing in that sense, both like just creatively as well as like industry wise. But there's definitely a lot that's different too. And I would say the two biggest things what I've noticed is definitely format. I would say screenwriting is more format intensive, so I have familiarity with it, like just bare nuts and bolts of like when to enter into a scene, like where like where does the dialogue like go and just stuff like that, which it's a different mindset. So format, and then also I would say industry wise too, because like I live in PA, so I'm
Mm.
not.
Right.
um so I would say from that perspective it has been very different as well. Oh, and then also like in that sense, at least what I'm kind of looking forward to is scripts. At least feature film scripts are usually one third the length of an average book.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
true.
kind of
Yeah.
looking forward to the just like length of the story being completed in a short amount of time for me
Uh-huh.
for creatively. So yeah, definitely differences. Some of the stuff was daunting in the beginning, but now I'm approaching it once again like as a challenge to embrace.
Right.
So
So let's talk about the project that you are doing with us, which is the unfinished work workshop for everybody
yeah,
that's watching. What do you hope to get out of it? What is something that you can help other people? What do you hope to help other people with this particular film? I guess what I'm trying to say is like you write a story, you're trying to spread a message, right? So what is the yeah, what are you trying to help people to realize through that?
sure. So what I hope to get out of this is definitely feedback. Because I know, especially with the other writer I'm being paired with, I think Tom Wong,
Hmm.
um, just feedback from people who have been doing this, right? People who are actually, been studying film and acting and directing and writing for quite some time, just to get their feedback on what's sticking and what isn't, right? Because
Right.
I think I have my voice, what I understand to be my voice in
Hmm.
storytelling, but I need to see how is that coming across in a new format, in this sense a script.
Right.
um and so definitely just feedback and seeing what people just what they like and what they think might be um you know an area for improvement and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking for from the program. And then in terms of like what I want people to get out of it
Uh-huh.
eventually,
Uh-huh.
um Honestly, like this is probably one of the works that was the easiest to write for me because I really didn't think too much about a message with this one. I mean, normally like I'm pretty heavy-handed. I mean, I know a lot of
Uh-huh.
writers like that's I mean, I'm not the only writer who thinks like that like like oh, there's going to be like this theme and that, like metaphor and those kinds of things, but
Right.
this was really the first work. And I mean, especially because it's a short, like I just didn't think about it. I was just like
Right.
two strangers talking it up, like what's the connection? Bam. But
Yeah.
I guess if I had to think about it, it goes kind of back to the beginning, what I was talking about, which is just this relationship in life that we have with strangers in person. Um, and, as times change, what are our relationships with people whom we don't know, who we come across?
Right.
And then maybe that extrapolates to people who are just in our homes, right? Like
Yeah.
how much do we acknowledge the people who are, in, the other room next to us, right? So just that, and that's only if like people want to derive that. Like otherwise, like it's very free form. I'm
It's
just
up to interpretation, right?
exactly, and I think that's
Right.
really just the best kind of storytelling, anyways. So
Yeah.
let the audience decide what they glean from it.
Well, I really appreciate your attitude because I think that's really good. It's like it seems like you're challenging yourself, you're trying different platforms, and you're joining the unfinished workshop to hopefully look for um, revisions or people's feedbacks and all that. I think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have any
yeah,
questions
awesome.
for me or for the program?
Um, None at this time. I mean, I know
Okay.
like there's a table read coming up that I need to join soon, but
Yeah.
yeah, no questions at this time. Just super excited, and I just gotta say, you're a really chill interviewer. Like, I hope you
I
do
am. Oh,
more
shit.
interviewers, or you have like
Yeah.
a podcast or something in the future, because like you have like a really calm aesthetic about you that's good for interviewing another person, and
Thank
very
you, my
patient
friend.
as well.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
yeah, good
Yeah,
on you.
no, for sure. Yeah, so for the people listening right now and that are watching, we have the workshop with Jay and Tom Huang. That's gonna happen next week on Friday at it's the 18th of December at 5 p.m. PT Pacific time and 8 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, that's it. Nice talking to you.
Awesome. Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
I
Shing.
hope to see you soon. Bye, Jay.
Yeah, yeah. Have a good
Yeah,
one. See ya.
you too. Bye.